Good afternoon to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to another vlog video. What I am going to be trying to showcase to you guys today is the little trip that I took up to Melbourne to go to Listen Out 2023 and also to check out the various archive and fashion stores that are all around Melbourne. I'm going to explain to you guys basically the whole reason that I'm behind on covering upcoming releases in the best way that I can, because when I initially planned to go up to Melbourne to go to the Listen Out Music Festival and to do some shopping and things like that, I planned this many months ago with kind of the idea to do it as like a vlog for the channel, but I wasn't fully sold on it. My mate Eli was actually the biggest like catalyst to push me to actually make this in some way like a vlogging experience, but even he and I struggled when we were actually in Melbourne to actually motivate ourselves to actually do that, because really we were there to just like shop and also go to Listen Out. So as much as I have footage from Melbourne, I didn't record a whole lot, and I don't think I'll be able to showcase a whole lot to you guys realistically, but at least in this video today I can kind of like talk about my trip and then like fill it in with blanks, you know, fill it in with photos, fill it in with videos that I have, to at least kind of try and make it as like a whole experience as much as possible. But yeah, that's what I did on last Thursday, on the last Thursday of September. I went up in the evening to Melbourne to go to Listen Out, which was on the Friday, and then do some shopping on the Saturday and Sunday and come back Sunday. Now, nothing really went to plan. That's a good way to summarize the trip, actually. Nothing went to plan, but it was fine, because like I'm a pretty easygoing guy. As long as we have like a rough outline, that's all good. Like when I travel and when I have like plans with friends, I'm never super anal about like, this has to be done at this time, we have to then do this, we have to do then that. I'm like, here's a rough idea of what I want, and we'll kind of just work with whatever we can. And I'm glad that I had that mentality for this trip, because it was required. Because like straight off the bat, we had our flight that was meant to depart at like 10 p.m. be delayed for 2 hours. So a classic first start to the trip there. So we arrived at the airport at like 9:30/10. Me and my mate Eli caught up with a couple other people that were actually also on the flight as well, and it was delay after delay, which just caused us to basically stay at the bar the whole time on the Thursday evening, just having multiple beers until the flight finally was actually scheduled to leave, which was I think the final time was like 12:05 or something like that. We were honestly at the point where we thought it was gonna it was just gonna be cancelled, because it just kept getting pushed back every like 30 minutes. And that was the worst part, was it wasn't just like we rocked up, it was meant to be at 10 and then it got pushed back to 12. No, it was like we rocked up at 10 and then it was like, oh, it's pushed back to 10:30. Oh, it's been pushed back to 11 p.m. Oh, now 11:30. Oh, now 12. And it was like, come on, man. Just tell us, is the plane arriving or not? Are we actually going to get to Melbourne at all? But yeah, at around, I think it was around like 12:20, we finally departed. And I think I do have like a clip of us actually departing. Eli is like checking out the window to see if like we are actually leaving, you know, making sure. And at that point, both of us had had a couple drinks, you know, we're chilling. I think what album did I actually listen to while I was on the flight? I remember, because I don't download albums on Spotify. I didn't have any data. I gotta remember what album I was actually listening to. Oh, on the flight up, a couple beers in, I have my headphones on, blasting music, and I'm listening to Grave Diggers' debut album, 6 Feet Deep. absolutely love that 94 album. A fantastic album by RZA and Prince Paul, and obviously many others as well. I kind of wish that was actually on Spotify, so if anyone with any like actual power out there can get it onto Spotify, please get it onto streaming services, because I love that album so much. But yeah, we finally managed to get on our flight and managed to fly up to Melbourne. I think we landed in Melbourne at like 2 a.m. or something like that, and we were just exhausted. Like, we were just absolutely shagged after like a couple hours of drinking, an hour flight. It was just, yeah, I was very ready to crash, and luckily our Airbnb had the details that we were going to like be late, and so glad that we were delayed and everything like that. No one had to hand us any physical keys. We had a lock system, number code lock system, where you just, you know, put in the numbers, you got the key, you could open up and enter in. I have like some very late night, almost 3 a.m. footage of like us actually arriving at the Airbnb, Eli checking out some of the like amenities and stuff like that. But yeah, all in all, that Thursday evening was just like, let's just get to Melbourne. We got to Melbourne on the Friday morning, basically like at 3 a.m. And then obviously Friday was the big day that was Listen Out. Waking up Friday morning, pretty exhausted, because we had to wake up quite early, around like 8 or 9 p.m, considering that we went to sleep at like 3:30. Yeah, we had to wake up pretty early on the Friday, mainly to just get some drinking in before the actual festival, because I don't know if you guys have ever been to music festivals or ever decided to buy a couple beers at a music festival. It is dumb expensive, so we wanted to make sure that we were at least a little bit sourced before we went to the actual festival itself. I was really keen to go to Listen Out, because so many like out of Australia American acts were playing in Australia, and this is probably one of the few times that I'll actually get to see some of these artists, and maybe the last and only ever time that I'll get to see some of these artists. I'll check up the lineup on the screen so you guys can check it out, but I think some of the big acts that I was quite keen on seeing was JPEG Mafia, because he's one of my favorite artists of all time, Kenny Beats, because I really wanted to see if he was going to perform like some songs from his debut album, because I loved his debut album. I thought that was great. I wanted to see Skrillex, just because like in the early 2010s I really loved his albums and things that released then. I have a lot of fond memories in like high school of listening to him in the early 2010s, and there were a couple acts that I also saw in this lineup that I was kind of like, you know what, I'll see them just to say that I've seen them, and then I can say that like I've seen them live and things like that. Artists like Coil Ray and Ice Spice, I just wanted to say that I've seen them. I was quite keen on Lil Uzi Vert as well, but I guess I was keen on seeing him more so on the fact to say that I have seen him and to see songs that I love by him. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Lil Uzi Vert fan. Like, I don't have like a favorite project by him or like a tier list of his discography and stuff like that. I just haven't listened to him enough to be able to write up something like that, and I don't want to come out and like front to you guys as like the biggest Lil Uzi Vert fan. I'm probably more interested in him for like his interests, because they also align with mine, I suppose, or at least I perceive them to be, and just like him as a character, as a person, and also just a couple of his songs. You know, I wouldn't say I'm the hardcore Lil Uzi Vert fan. I'd say that I definitely know like Peggy or Kenny Beats more than Lil Uzi. Initially, Metro Boomin was meant to play at this festival as well, but he pulled out like a week before the festival was actually scheduled to play, which is a bit of a bummer, but you got to take it for what it is, I suppose. I was still very happy to see artists like Lil Uzi, Peggy, and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. We saw Peggy first up. He's always like, whenever he plays at Listen Out, because he has played before, I saw him in 2019, he always plays in like the mid-afternoon, like 3 p.m. or something like that. It's always like a really awkward time. So we saw him. It was so much fun. He did like his Call Me Maybe, redo do. We saw him play a bunch of tracks from LP, a bunch of tracks from Scaring the Hose. I honestly was more keen on seeing more songs from LP than Scaring the Hose, because I like LP more than Scaring the Hose, but that's just my take on it. But it was just a lot of fun. I love seeing him. It's always a good time. Enjoyed it a lot. Would definitely see him again. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to see Kenny after that, Kenny Beats, and then later in the evening it moved into Coi Leray and Ice Spice, which again, as I mentioned, I was kind of just there to see, just to say that I've seen them. And in all honesty, they actually put on like a bit of a fun show. Like, it mainly was the crowd probably just going a bit wild for them both, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching Coi Leray and Ice Spice perform. In all honesty, I had a good time with that. And then moving into later on in the evening, we had Lil Uzi Vert, which I didn't know what to expect. He came onto stage wearing like a Balenciaga hoodie with like all the Balenciaga logos all over it and a backpack on. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, the backpack is in line with his like aesthetic and how he looks. But wearing a backpack on stage gave me the feeling that he was there to perform and to leave as quickly as possible. Like, he was already ready to go, if you kind of get me. That's just how I kind of felt. And speaking to other people, like, wearing the backpack gave us that kind of perception. But all in all, did I have fun watching Lil Uzi Vert perform live on stage? Yes. Was a lot of the songs that I wanted to see performed? Yes. Did I have a lot of fun? Yes. So, you know, what am I really complaining about? And then to end off the day, after Lil Uzi, we had Skrillex, which I went and saw, had an awesome time and had heaps of fun in the actual set itself, and really enjoyed a lot of the tracks. But then when I spoke to all the other people that saw him, they all were like, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't anything special. Maybe I just really enjoyed it because of that like nostalgia and thinking back to my like high school years, but I honestly don't know. Maybe people just didn't like the music or something, but hey, I had a fun time. That's all that really matters. It was a successful listen out for me. Getting out of the festival was a bit of a struggle though, because you either caught an Uber, which was going to be $200 out of the festival, or you took a free shuttle bus to a suburb that I didn't know and pray that that was, you know, somewhere near where we needed to go in the end. Me and my mates, we hopped on the free shuttle bus. It took us to where we needed to go. We hopped off. And luckily the Uber from where it dropped us off was like $40, and between 4 people it was $10 a person, so I happily took that outcome. But yeah, it was a bit of a mess trying to get out of the festival, but that's the same as like any festival. So yeah, definitely recommend taking the free shuttle bus option out of a festival no matter where it goes, because as long as it gets you out of that Uber hotspot and to somewhere where it'll cost a lot less, I think that's the win-win there, to be honest. But yeah, a successful Friday, I gotta say. We were absolutely like shagged after it. It was a big day with very little sleep had on the Friday. And yeah, we had to get ready because Saturday was going to be our main shopping day. So yeah, that's where we yeah, we're going to buy everything, check everything out. But we just had to get back to the Airbnb and just like pass out and hopefully be alive and well, ready for Saturday. Then Saturday's kicked around. So Saturday, Eli and I, we left the Airbnb, we kind of just pulled like the Anthony Bourdain kind of way of just approaching like eating, and just walked into like any place that we thought kind of looked cool, and then just like tried out the places. Like, I probably missed out on all these like fantastic Melbourne restaurants and food places and whatever, but I couldn't be bothered putting all the time and energy into researching that stuff. So I just walked into whatever was close to Ascot Vale and just like walked in with Eli and we just got breakfast and stuff. So basically it was just like whatever cafes had like cool logos and funny names and things like that. Like that was the main driving force for like why I came into a place. And if you had, I guess, like a cool interior design as well, that kind of appealed to me. So we went into a place. What was the first place that we went into on like Friday morning? It was I think it was called Grandpa Joe's. And then on Saturday, the big shopping day, we went into a place that was like the Little Bird or something like that. I honestly cannot remember the name, but it was all just like names that were kind of goofy and fun to me, and I went with it. So after we got a feed on Saturday, kind of revived ourselves from the listen out the day before. Saturday, which was grand final day for Australian football, we went around shopping, and Melbourne was busy, but it was nowhere near as probably what it normally was on a Saturday because of the grand final, which I was actually quite appreciative of, because I was looking to just browse some places in peace. We started off with Nudie Jeans in Melbourne. I'd never been to a Nudie Jeans boutique before and checked out their jeans, but the one in the Melbourne CBD was really nice. Like, I really loved its aesthetics. It had like this massive wall that was like 7 meters high of just denim in all these different colors, and there was this beautiful like indigo denim with orange contrast stitching in it, and I loved that. I asked them what their biggest size was that they had in store, and unfortunately it was a 38 waist, which I only own 40 waist jeans at the moment. I'm probably thin enough now to get into 38s, but I didn't want to risk it, go through the troubles of taking off the outfit that I was wearing at the time to try on the denim. I was really there just to like browse around and have a look around. But yeah, they have like free repairs and lifetime repairs for Nudie jeans, and I thought that was really cool. At least the lifetime aspect of it. I assume your first repair is free, and then after that it's paid or something like that. But it was just a cool concept to have, one, a store that cared so much about denim in Australia, and two, to see that they would repair it for you and everything like that, which I just need Levi's to do that, because I have gone through a lot of 501 pairs and repaired them myself, when someone who's probably a lot more talented could actually repair them. But we went from Nudie Jeans to Collection, which I'm assuming with how it's spelt and everything is meant to be a play on like collection, but Collection had like First Arrows in store. They had all these heritage brands. They had all these different types of denim. I, for the first time, was actually able to pick up a 25-ounce denim pair of jeans. And I was blown away by it, because you see all those posts on Instagram and stuff about like the Ironheart 25-ounce denim that stands by itself because it's so rigid, and you hear everything about the 25-ounce denim and the 21-ounce denim, but to actually be somewhere where I could hold it in person was a bit of an experience. And I guess I'm the only type of guy that would like geek out about something like that. But yeah, I got to pick it up. The 25-ounce denim probably weighs about 3 kilos, like by itself. It was intense. I didn't dare unfold it, but I just held it. I was like, geez, you would not be able to wear this most of the time in Melbourne. This would be like a seasonal pair of pants that you can wear in like winter. It was intense, but it was awesome. It makes me want to get a pair of the 25-ounce Ironheart denim just for the gimmick, and also I'd probably wear it more in Tasmania than I would wear it in Melbourne. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Then I went to a couple other boutiques on the Saturday, a couple places that Eli wanted to go. We'd planned months before on like rough ideas on where we wanted to go, but like I was saying at the start of it, it was all pretty free form on that trip, just wherever we could go to. A lot of the places that we went to, there were some cool pieces, but the sizing was really unfortunate. Like, there'd be this piece that we'd be like, oh yeah, like I'd wear that, but then the only size they would have is like a small or a medium. So as much as it was awesome to go in store into some of these places, it was hard to actually shop for anything because of that. We did hit up some archive stores and things like that, like we went to .com and various other places like that on the Saturday, but yeah, none of them really had anything that we could buy. One thing that I did actually really enjoy while we were going around to all these boutiques was actually just checking in some bookstores that were, you know, very close by, because they had some books in there that were really nice, some really nice fashion books and things like that. I found this book that I really wanted to buy when I was with Eli, and I got Eli to send me a photo of it. I'll just bring up my messages to actually kind of showcase that to you guys, but it was called 93 Till, kind of reminding me of the Souls of Mischief song in all reality, but it was a skating book of just like photos of like 90s skaters and stuff like that. I really want to pick that up at some point. I'm sure I can find like a copy of it somewhere, but yeah, I was basically just window shopping in bookstores whilst we're also clothing shopping. I did have an intended purpose on Saturday. Months before I planned to go on this trip, I said I want to go to Up There store. I want to see the Kapital in store. I want to buy potentially 2 hats from them, 2 trucker hats. So I went in store to Up There store, and it was an experience. That was a boutique that I really enjoyed going to because it had like a really awesome, unique aesthetic. It was up a hill. It was, all their logos were upside down. It was all a play on that, and I really enjoyed that. And when you came in, it was like a green floor, a long table with items showcased, and then like hangers down the sides of it, with all the different pieces and all the different brands there. I'll showcase a photo to you guys to try and showcase what the store's like, but from my understanding and what I could see, it looked like the store had like a rotation where they would rotate out brands in this kind of display, and then the rest of their stock is in a warehouse. So the 2 hats that I wanted to buy, only one of them was actually available at the time of us coming in. The other one was available at their warehouse. So while I was up there, I did actually pick up one of the hats that I wanted from Up There store, but the second one I had to actually order and have shipped to me, which they had free shipping, so they offered to do that. So I did actually pick up the second one as well, which I feel like that one I'll unbox in its own separate little video there. But I guess going to Up There store actually kind of motivated me and made me a little bit happier, because up until that point there wasn't much of a success story. Like, there wasn't much that I could find that I was really into that would really fit me. I think the stores that, you know, really spoke to me the most, that when I was traveling around with Eli around Melbourne on that Saturday, was the stores that stocked a lot of heritage brands, as I hope to one day open a store myself that stocks heritage brands like that. It's been like a dream that I've kind of considered pursuing, and one that I have, but haven't really pursued too much, I suppose. And when I went to the archive stores in Melbourne with Eli, the ones that we did visit, like, I loved the opportunity that we had archive stores in Australia, but I really felt like I could do it better. Even though I've never run a store myself and I have no idea if I actually could do it better, but I just thought that, like, we could have, I feel like I could do a store with a lot more exciting pieces. I feel like I could do a store with a lot more, I guess, more interesting and relevant brands. I don't know. Again, maybe it was just me, like, I don't know, hallucinating or something on the Saturday, thinking that I could do those types of things. But I don't know, it was good to have that exposure, because it set the realistic ideas of like what archive stores are like in Australia, and kind of encouraged me to pursue that, like, you know, I could open up Danyal's archive store or something like that, or like Dan's Den or something like that. I don't know, I could come up with a bunch of names for it, but yeah, I guess that's what I really took away from the Saturday was, you know, I managed to pick up a couple things, but also it gave me a lot of experiences. It gave me a realistic idea of what like the fashion community's like in Australia, and I think that was the more invaluable thing that I took away from that shopping Saturday. But yeah, after Eli and I were done, you know, shopping, checking all the places out, we went back to the Airbnb because we had a party to go to that a mate of ours was hosting. We used to have a mate in Tasmania that moved up to Melbourne. She's now hosting a party on that Saturday night. So yeah, after our big shopping trip, we decided to go to that house party and just have a good time at that house party for the rest of the evening. And Sunday. So we woke up on Sunday, probably the worst for wear out of all the days that we were there, just because it'd been a long weekend of not a lot of sleep, not a lot of just actual relaxing. I definitely came back from that trip sick and nasally, like you can hear me right now. But yeah, Sunday it was like, we just need to survive and then catch a flight and get out of here. Basically, for Sunday, what we did is we checked out Fitzroy, the suburb Fitzroy, yeah, because when we were at the up there store yesterday on Saturday, we got a recommendation by one of the employees to just go check out Fitzroy because it has a lot of stores, a lot of vintage stores that just sell stuff that you're kind of after at a really good price point. He was showcasing to us this like rayon Hawaiian shirt that he was wearing at the time that he picked up for like $40-50 in Fitzroy, and that's the exact type of thing that I was really looking for. So we checked out Fitzroy, we went to Fitzroy and went to a couple places. A couple of things that we did was we really just roamed around like directionlessly, because we left the Airbnb, it was our final night there, and we kind of just went wandering around. I went to a couple vinyl record shops in Fitzroy. We then wandered around some stores and things like that. We stumbled across this American vintage store which had these fantastic like pieces. Aesthetically it was exactly what I wanted, like a bunch of vintage denim, a bunch of vintage jeans, a bunch of vintage everything. But in all honesty, it actually was quite pricey for what we got. I was kind of thinking that some of the pieces should be like $100 cheaper, or like half the price that they're asking for. Like, it'd be cool to buy a couple pieces here and there from them, but I feel like I could get the same kind of look and the same kind of things that I want from it for like half the price off of eBay. And I guess that was my biggest deterrent personally on why I didn't pick up a lot from them, because I was like, I think I could just go to eBay and get it. But I did pick up one or two things which I have stored in this bag here. I picked up some vintage bandanas that I'm going to be wearing as accessories in a lot of the outfits that I have with the Kapital pieces that I have. I guess like my biggest concern was that I've bought colors which in America are very much associated with like gangs and things like that, and I guess I didn't want that interpretation being applied to the outfits that I'm gonna wear. But I guess it'll just be a struggle that I'll always have to like overcome when I'm actually wearing these outfits, is like people associating that with that when that's obviously not my intent. But I just thought that these are really awesome, like cheap things that you can add to your outfits to spice them up a little bit and to make them more interesting. And I think it'll work with a lot of the outfits where I'm wearing like traditional Americana and things like that. I just think it would work quite well. But yeah, we checked out that vintage store. It was getting like into the early afternoons. I was chilling with all my mates at that point, like Eli and I, my other mates that I went up there to hang out with and went to listen out with, my workmate Kevin. We're all just hanging out in Fitzroy for a couple hours, which was a good time. And then our other mate, EK messaged us and said, "Hey man, do you want to catch up for dinner for like your last dinner in Melbourne?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So we said goodbye to all my other mates in Fitzroy, and we went back to the central Melbourne district to have some ramen. We went and had some ramen with him at I think it was Shinjuku ramen. I was kind of worried that they wouldn't have like a vegetarian or vegan option, but luckily they had a vegan option. I'm vegetarian myself, but like, I'll happily eat a vegan option. I had this really lovely like tofu ramen with some extra noodles. I wasn't that hungry at the time, and I kind of ordered extra noodles thinking that it would just be like a couple extra noodles already in the dish, but no, it was like a whole extra bowl of noodles for like $2 to $3 with like a lot of noodles. So, and a whole extra like feed there, but it was fantastic with the broth. Like, it was just a lot more noodles to eat with it. Delicious, loved it. So we caught up with EK for dinner. We went to a rooftop bar for like a beer or two, and then we left. we had to go pick up the luggage that Eli stored that day in like a day storage thingy mabobby, and leave. So we then hopped in an Uber, said goodbye to EK, said goodbye to my other mates, and yeah, like went to the airport. We got to the airport, and I basically had to like strip everything off me because I kept getting pulled up at the machine. Like I was wearing leather boots, a belt, black denim, that fantastic Kapital jacket in the back there, a wide brimmed hat, glasses. I stripped down to basically just like the denim and the tank top that I was wearing underneath it. Yeah. It was like I finally got through the airport security with that, but it was just funny going from like a very like American Western outfit to literally just a tank top and denim for them to allow me through the customs part, which was just it was just crazy. But we eventually got there, eventually got to our gate, only to find that our gate had mentioned that the flight had been delayed, and it was initially at gate like 51. Then they told everyone to go to gate 46 after an hour. So after an hour of standing around, we went to gate 46. Then for another long period of time, they then said, oh, go back to gate 51. The crowd had had enough. Everyone had like definitely been over and done with it. But then eventually we finally got on a flight and got home, probably around like 10:30 p.m. on that Sunday. All I can say is that I was very happy that I took the Monday off, because the Monday was just that day that I was just going to pass out and sleep for the next 12 hours. But yeah, that was basically the whole trip summed up. That was how I spent the Friday, Saturday and Sunday in Melbourne. It was a very like eye-opening experience now that I've traveled back there with my interests in fashion and things like that, and music as well. It like now that I've had over the past 12 months this dream to like, you know, one day open like a exhibition of undercover and other brands that I love, and to maybe one day open like a heritage brand store, which sells my favorite brands and things like that. I guess seeing how it's run over there at the moment gave me a little bit of direction and encouragement for that, because I've seen, I guess, the competition. It was really good to just see things like that, definitely. And I really enjoyed the music at Listen Out, and I had a great time. It really wasn't a relaxing trip because everything was like so fast paced, like, you know, like I was kind of describing to you guys. Like the Thursday we were up there, we woke up early to go to the festival on Friday, then we got home, woke up early to go shopping on the Saturday, went to the house party Saturday evening, woke up early on the Sunday to check out of the Airbnb, then went around Fitzroy all of Sunday, and then left Sunday evening. Like there was no time there to just like chill. And I think that's where it's taken a toll on my body, where like this week I've just been sick, and well, then I worked. I didn't take the time off, then I just worked while I was sick. So I'm just very glad it's the weekend currently as I'm recording this video now, and I actually get some time to relax. But yeah, whew, it's been a very hectic week and a half, but yeah, definitely a trip that I'll look back on and really enjoy. I'm really glad that I did all the things that I did over in Melbourne, and would love to go back sometime soon, mainly to just do the same things again, to go shopping again, to go browsing around stores, to really soak it all in, to soak that culture in. It's awesome. I really like Melbourne. It's a really awesome city to visit, to live in. I think I would love to live in either the suburbs or like in a very tall high rise. I'm a little bit, you know, split in the middle on which one I'd go with. You know, would I like to live in the suburbs or would I like to live in a high rise? I'm a little unsure myself, but yeah, no, it's an awesome place, and I'm very glad that recently I was able to go up there. But that is everything I really have to summarize for my trip. I might actually showcase to you guys now like what I actually picked up on that trip, and we can kind of go through that together as well. So as I kind of showcased on the Sunday, I went to a American vintage store in Fitzroy and picked up a couple of bandanas there. I didn't pick up anything bigger than that because one, I'd have to carry it around the whole day before I left, but also because of the pricing, I just thought it was too expensive for what it was. But I picked up some bandanas that I thought might work well in my wardrobe, or I could at least use as like pocket squares in my jackets or my denim. I picked up a nice little red bandana here, a nice white bandana, which I think will look really nice with a lot of the blue denim that I wear in summer, and then just a really nice burgundy one, a nice burgundy bandana as well. I think that'll look good with my bandana jacket, my bandana Kapital jacket that I have down in my summer shirt section of my wardrobe down there. I think that'll look really nice, but or even just with black. I think this will look really nice with heaps of black denim that I wear and stuff like that. But that was really my whole idea. I think I just wanted to take something away from that store, and I guess like a little $6 bandana was a nice little starting point from that. So yeah, to sum up my spoils of war from Fitzroy, just a couple vintage bandanas. Moving into like the pickups that I did on the Saturday, so here is the bag from Up There store. I kept the whole thing. From Saturday, I got a piece that isn't actually from Up There store, but I kind of lumped everything in from the Saturday. What I picked up was this this tank top from Neovision. This was a piece that was available at Universal. I think it is a fast fashion brand, but what it is it's a men's tank top which has very much a shirt cut to the neckline, and I really like this because of the material choice and the cut of it, because a lot of the tank tops that I have are still very much down the line of they look like sports tank tops, which is fine when you wear them underneath like button-up shirts and things like that, because it's showing off all the right things for an outfit with button-up shirts and rayon shirts and stuff. But if I want to wear just a tank top under like a jacket or something, but I still want the look of a shirt, it doesn't. My current tank tops don't currently fit that aesthetic, but with this I feel like it can, and I'll try and showcase it to you on Onbody next, just so you kind of have an idea of how it looks. But yeah, I really like it just for the way that it's cut and the material choice, but I'll chuck it on now and showcase it to you on Onbody. This is it showcased here, and in all honesty, if I had this tucked into the denim, you might even question if it's a bodysuit, and with that kind of cut, I think that's kind of the perception that it gives though, right? But this is what I was talking about, how it definitely looks more like a t-shirt without sleeves than a tank top, because a lot of the tank tops that I have are a lower cut. Totally fine with that, but this is definitely the more so the look that I wanted to go with, and I think I'll try and showcase it with like the Kapital jacket that I have here, but I think it just looks really nice underneath like a bunch of jackets and stuff. And I only bought one, but in all honesty, if I eventually come around and I start liking this tank top more than my sports ones that I have in my wardrobe currently, I think I might actually just like replace them and get a bunch of these like Neovision tank tops, because I really like them. But I think I'd still only get them in very basic colors like the black that I have here. But now that I've undone the jacket there, I'll try and showcase to you what I kind of mean. Please ignore the very light denim that I'm obviously rocking with this outfit. I'd probably definitely change this up to like a black or something, but this is what I mean, right? Like, unless I just showed it to you just then, or unless you knew, you don't know that this is a tank top underneath. And I think it's going to really come in handy on those hot days where I still want the look of a t-shirt without the material all being bunched up around the shoulders and getting me really sweaty and stuff. But I think that just works really well. I think it's an awesome look. I really like it, and I really want to try it out with a bunch of different pieces that I have in my wardrobe, but I really haven't had the opportunity because I came straight back from that trip into work, so I haven't really had time to play around with it. But yeah, if I think I get around this, I think I might pick up a couple of them because they're really comfy. They're a bit heavier than my tank tops I normally have because it's like a cotton knit material this is made out of. It's not just a normal cotton blend that a normal tank top is made out of. But all in all, I'm really happy with it, and I think if I buy it in a couple colors, like, oh well, I say a couple colors, but black or white, I think I'd easily be able to wear this in a bunch of outfits that I have. But I thought I'd showcase it to you guys just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the cuts and whatnot. But yeah, if anyone was interested, Neovision is the brand. I do really like the way it looks. It was available at Universal Store, so I feel like you'll either be able to pick it up from either their online store or Universal's online store, but just really like the cut of it. It's probably more in line with a lot of tank tops that are made for women. Nothing wrong with that, but that's probably just the style that it more so aligns to. But I really just love the way that it fits on me, man. I think it's just a great look. I've only got one other thing that I actually bought and took back from Melbourne. The other piece I had to buy and get delivered to me from Melbourne. The last piece that I picked up from Melbourne was the piece that I'd planned to get for months, which was the Kapital Kountry trucker hat. So I'll get that out of here. While I was in store, I tried all the different colors that I thought would work, but I eventually landed with the one that was, I guess, the most like universal to my wardrobe and whatnot, and that's the black with the black bill and grey front. On the front it has the text, "My dear, how dare country dryer smells shit and does dirty shrink." Don't know what it means, don't know where it goes with it, but I really just wanted it for, mainly because it's an iconic Kapital piece, and also because I don't own any trucker hats and it would fit well into my wardrobe at the moment. The other hat that I bought from up their store, the other Kapital piece that I got delivered to me, I think I'll unbox that in its own unboxing video just to kind of go over that and style that, because the way that I'll style that second hat is very different from how I would style this one. But I'll kind of showcase to you how the trucker hat looks. I really wanted to try these in person because I was afraid that it wouldn't fit me or look weird on my big head, and like, I'm a size 2XL in Kangol. My head circumference is like 62 to 63 centimeters, so I wanted to ensure that a one size fits all hat would actually fit me, and I have it literally on like the last two sizing options there. But yeah, this is how the Kapital Kountry trucker hats fit me. They are, I'll just try and get it the best that I can get it. I still think that maybe because it's of its shape, it does look a little bit weird still on me, but well, no, actually, like I'm kind of hit or miss actually on that. I'm unsure if it does look really strange on me or if it's just like that's just how trucker hats look, but it has that look to it, and I think I'll be wearing it that way instead of backwards. Although I do really like wearing my hats backwards though. Like, that is definitely more so my preference, but I guess we'll see how it works, because, you know, probably more traditionally you're meant to wear it like this, which I feel like I could come up with an outfit for. Like, I could just wear like a very simple black denim jacket over the top of what I'm currently wearing, and that would work out quite well. But yeah, love the colors. Finally got myself a Kapital trucker hat, and I'm glad that it fit. And that was one of the main things, like, in Melbourne I wanted to try at up their store was, do they actually fit big-headed people? How do they look? Everything like that. So it was a good experience to have, definitely, in Melbourne, and trying this on encouraged me to buy the second one, which I'll unbox for you in a separate video. But yeah, as you can see, like, coming out of Melbourne, I didn't really buy too much. I just bought 2 hats, this tank top, and a couple bandanas, but everything that I bought will already work well in my pre-existing wardrobe. It'll work with a bunch of outfits that I already wear regularly. I think I did some good purchases, all in all. Like, I didn't buy anything super extravagant. I was kind of hoping that I'd find something that was going to be super extravagant that I could buy, but I still am very happy with what I picked up. And like I was kind of talking about before, I think just the experience and seeing it all, and the exposure to that was more valuable than the you know, the items that I picked up from the actual trip itself. But yeah, that's just my thoughts at least on it though, guys. But yeah, that's everything showcased from the trip. That is my trip summed up. That is all the pieces I picked up from the trip. I was very happy to go to Listen Out. I was very happy with everything I picked up. I'm very happy to answer any questions that I have regarding the trip. Let me know what kind of questions you have regarding the trip, or any of the questions you have regarding any of the pieces that I picked up down in that comment section below. And if you guys would like me to do more like proper vlogging content in the future, let me know. Let me know with the 3 indicators I always ask you for, but let me know more specifically, because like, as I said, I very loosely filmed that trip, and I felt like if I had enough motivation from you guys and whatnot, I probably would have done it like more professionally and actually taken a lot more footage. But yeah, I don't know if that's content you guys want to see or not. And I probably won't be traveling up to Melbourne a lot, so the content wouldn't be that frequent anyway. But yeah, no, definitely let me know if you'd like to see more vlogging content and stuff like that on the channel, or maybe any other kind of content on the channel more specifically. Let me know down in that comment section below. But that's everything I really have to say about the trip, guys. I'm sorry that trip kind of like delayed all the videos that we had to do, but I'm like, I guess, happy to like you know, catch up on that content as well, have all the experiences that I had in Melbourne, and very happy to like share those experiences with you guys. It was a lot of fun. I definitely do it again. Probably going to do it again when Listen Out 2024 gets announced, so we'll get ready for that as well. But yeah, nah, it should be good. I should definitely go to Melbourne more often. There's a lot of cool things that I'd love to visit, and more stores that I'd love to check out up there, just to get the whole experience of how Australia's fashion archive and streetwear scene looks, you know. But that's all I've really got to say about the trip though, guys. I'm very keen to unbox the next couple pieces on the channel for you and showcase to you what I've got. So yeah, I guess until then, until the next vlog video, until the next unboxing video, until the next streetwear talk video in general, I'll catch you later.